Hello everyone. Um, Kinda talking a little softer because it's currently 2:20 in the morning. Been working a little late. Actually this is I usually go to bed around 2:30 a.m., 3 a.m. Insomnia for the win! As well as having to use a CPAP machine that kind of takes the sleeping, gets a little less comfortable when you have to strap something to your face. In any case, I wanted to talk about Transformers. Because while I've been working, I want to say watching, but it has been more of listening to Transformers Prime again. And me and my brothers are also rewatching Transformers Armada. We've watched the first 2-3 episodes, and that was a week ago, and we haven't gotten back to it yet. But a week and a half ago, so before we started watching Armada, me and my brothers were talking about just things we remember from growing up and all that, and we got on the topic of Transformers, and we started talking about which Transformers do we remember having, the toys, growing up. And we went for 3 hours at least. We were remembering and looking up and trying to find the names of these Transformers that we were remembering, and some of the ones I remembered having were Cyclonus and Prowl. Who else did I have? We had a couple Star Wars ones, which were awesome. I think I had a Luke X-Wing one and a General Grievous, his wheel thing. That was awesome. And let's see. I had I'm forgetting his name. Not Starfire. I'll just put it on the screen. And mini-cons, can't remember the names of the mini-cons, but just went down this rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole, and I was so happy during that and so happy after it, because it was like I had just rediscovered part of myself. I had rediscovered the child in me again. And I love those moments in life. I love those moments where it takes me back to the excitement and the joy that I had as a kid. And I don't want to grow up whenever I have that kind of feeling. And I want to hold on to these things a little tighter, because I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose the kid in me. Which I know quite a few people that they seem to have lost the kid in them. And I really don't want to lose the kid in me. Because I look at growing up and adulting, as some people call it, which not my favorite term, but I'll use it here anyways. And I don't like it. I don't like the look of growing up and adulting and all that. I like being a kid. I like discovering and stories and imagining wondrous places with these amazing characters and impossible and improbable things that I wish were real. But that led me and my brothers to remembering the first Transformers show we watched, which we never saw the whole thing, but it was Transformers Armada, and we had a game on our computer at one point for that show, which was really awesome. And our favorite character, like all of us combined, I think our favorite characters from that, other than Optimus, were Hotshot, Blur, and Jetfire. We all absolutely love Jetfire. Makes me sad. Like, my favorite version at least, of Jetfire is from Transformers Armada. And I haven't really seen a version of him like that since, which makes me really sad. But Transformers Prime is like when we were kids, like really young kids, we saw a little bit of Armada. And then when we got older, we saw Transformers Prime came out and we actually saw all of that. So that one's pretty near and dear to our hearts. But I think, for me personally, Transformers Prime is my favorite, and then it goes Armada, and then Energon, and then the rest of them just like filter in below those. But man, I just love Transformers Prime and just Transformers in general. It's so cool. Especially Transformers Prime. I absolutely love Transformers Prime, though I really wish they'd had Jetfire in there. That would have been amazing. It would have been amazing if they had a bunch of different characters in there. But, oh well, it's still a really good show. Really, really, really good show. The episode I just finished, I actually watched the ending, I couldn't just listen, is when Optimus gets the Star Saber and a smoke screen has showed up, and it's kind of weird because in Armada, smoke screen's like a crane and everything, and in this one he's a sports car kid, and it's kind of weird. Still throws me off. But I love Optimus's speech at the end of the episode. He's like, endangering human life or any life will not be tolerated. Or something to that effect. And says that to Smokescreen, and then he says, we must remember that on this planet we are Titans, and our power must be used wisely. Which it's just, also Optimus just has an awesome voice. It's like, seeing Transformers are cool, but then like Optimus walks in the room and you're just like, yeah! Even like you see your favorite Transformer come in, or favorite Autobot or favorite Decepticon, and you're like, yeah! And then Optimus walks in and you're just like, yep, this is it. This is awesome. It's just epic. Absolutely epic. And what I love in Transformers Prime is what they really do with Optimus is he has so many moments where he's like, can we end this without fighting? He's always like, can we end this without fighting? And meeting, like, is it Skyquake and Dreadwing and multiple times over as well, and even Megatron and Starscream and other. He's like, can we settle this peacefully? Let's stop the fighting and settle this peacefully. Uh, and you get one of the cool things you get from the show is if Optimus could, he would end. He doesn't want to fight. That's what you learn about Optimus. He doesn't want to fight, but he will fight. He'd very much rather settle things peacefully, but he will fight, which is something I really admire, and that's something I kind of emulate in my own life. Of if I can, I'd rather talk my way through something and talk about something, but if need be, I will, and I have used my fists before. I don't really, well, sometimes you do kind of relish in the fact that you got to use your fists, depending on the person or people, but for the most part, I'd much rather talk, because overall, I'd say for the most part, I really don't like hurting people. I don't like hurting people. I don't even like making people feel bad. I get a guilty conscience pretty easily. But then you do have the moments with Optimus where he's like, this has gone on long enough, I'm gonna end this. Like, when Raph is at the end of season 1, Raph gets hurt and Optimus goes to fight Megatron by himself and just starts absolutely wrecking him, and then he gets stabbed. But it's a cool scene. It is, not gonna lie, it's a cool, epic scene. Megatron in Transformers Prime is absolutely terrifying. So is Soundwave. Soundwave is terrifying. I love the original Soundwave design. I probably like that more than the Transformers Prime, but he is absolutely terrifying in Transformers Prime. Absolutely terrifying. And just all the stories in Transformers and everything. You have the Primes, you have the Relics, you have Unicron, you have Kicker and Ironhide, and so many more. And Rad and Alexis and Carlos. Just so many amazing stories. And I'm grinning right now while I'm talking about it. Yeah, Transformers is one of those endless stories, I think. It's one of those, like, stories like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or a ton of different stories where it's passed on, like, generation to generation. The same stories passed on from generation to generation to generation, because it's like and one thing I like to point out is a lot of these stories that go from generation to generation and last the test of time are about family. Star Wars, it's about family. Lord of the Rings, it is about family. Out of the many things it's about, same with Star Wars, there's so many things it's about, but it is about family. Transformers, family. I'm trying to think, there's other ones. How to Train Your Dragon, family. I'm kind of drawing a blank right now because I'm still thinking mainly about Transformers, but all these stories about families are passed down in families. Princess Bride. That movie's all about family, and about families passing on these stories, and that's why I think it's a little hard seeing new things added onto a story, because when it's not what you're expecting or wanting, or it doesn't really continue the story of the story you held on to and the characters you knew, it's kind of hard to watch that happen, especially if you hold it really near and dear to your heart, which a lot of these stories I do. Some people probably find this sad, even people in my own family, but these stories and these characters are some of my best friends. If people asked me if a list of my best friends, I'd probably list my brothers and then a lot of books and characters before anybody else. Because or one thing with Transformers, and me and my brothers did this with so many stories, and things, and I still do it, and I still do it with them sometimes, but like with Transformers, we'd try and imagine or we'd pick what's your favorite car, and then or what's your favorite vehicle, would you want to be a flying Transformer, or a ground Transformer, an underwater Transformer, and what would your weapons be, and what could you do, and all, we'd create our own Transformers. And is it Six Shot? We read a comic book about Six Shot at one point, and the guy turns into 6 or 7 different things, and after that it was okay, what if you had 6 different modes, what would they be? And we had a toy aircraft carrier, and we'd pretend that was Tidal Wave with our other Transformers we had. When we were playing with them all together, we'd pretend this aircraft carrier was Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave's one of the coolest Transformers, even though he's a bad guy for the majority of the time. He just is. Same with Megatron and Soundwave. Cool characters. Dreadwing's awesome. In Transformers Prime, if you haven't seen it, you should. Dreadwing's awesome. And spoiler coming up. Spoiler. Dreadwing, I thought it was so dumb that he died. I thought it was so dumb, but they kill him to keep Starscream alive, and because Starscream's always been there, always a part of it, but I would much rather they had killed Starscream and have Megatron kill Starscream and leave Dreadwing, or have Dreadwing just join the Autobots, because Dreadwing was an awesome character, absolutely awesome character, and it kind of seemed a waste to just ruin his character development by just having Megatron shoot him in the back. Yeah. Transformers Prime made me cry at the ending. Oh, also the Predacons in Transformers Prime. Man, so cool. Well, I wish they hadn't had, it was a great arc and everything, but if they had some more of the Predacons survive the explosion in the cave, that would have been cool to actually see more than just the Predaking and 2 Griffins. That would have been really cool to see a bunch of the other Predacons. But oh well. It just makes me happy, like, whenever I hear the Transformers Prime theme. It's an epic theme. I just blanked on the composer's name. Is it John Tyler or something? I have to put that up on the screen as well. But it's like bum 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 ba 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 ba. Nope, I'm messing it up. Oh well. But yeah, awesome show. And Transformers is just one of those great stories. So, if you haven't gotten into Transformers, you totally should. You should at least like read a synopsis or find a synopsis video about it or something. Or like best quotes of like Optimus Prime. That is totally worth a watch if you can find one. But yeah, hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope that you can I hope that you can be the reason someone smiles. Whether you smile first and then they smile back, or you do something nice for them, I hope you can make someone smile.